Namaskar, this is Akhilesh Bhargav. Welcome to Tidbits on Business and Finance with me. A recent report by Bloomberg Economics says that despite the lifting of the lockdown in India, there has been no revival of animal spirits in the economy. Bloomberg has compiled 8 critical indicators on the basis of which it says that there has been no such revival in the country. And what are they? The first one Bloomberg says is that business activity in the country has declined both in the manufacturing sector as well as in the service sector. It says that demand remains extremely weak and that there is a significant decline in new orders in the economy, because of which output both in the manufacturing and service sector has considerably shrunk. It then says that exports from India for the months of April, May, and June have fallen by 36.5%, and that the decline in imports has been much more sharper, thus indicating a depletion of economic activity. It then says that the Reserve Bank Consumer Confidence Index is at a historic low, and that explains why the consumers are just not willing to spend. Bloomberg then says that bank credit growth has gone up by just 5.5%. It was 13.5% during the same time last year. In other words, the borrowers are just not confident of borrowing from banks. It then points out that despite the Reserve Bank of India pumping cash or money in the economy, there are neither money takers for it and neither many givers for it. In other words, lending is not taking place. It then says that industrial production has gone down considerably and core sector production is down by 38%. Core sector consists of critical sectors like cement, steel, power, oil, gas, etc. All of them have witnessed a huge decline. In other words, on the basis of these critical indicators, Bloomberg says that animal spirits in the economy have not come back. Before we go ahead with our discussion, let us examine what exactly do we mean by animal spirits in the economy. It refers to consumer and investor confidence on the basis of which a consumer decides to spend and an investor decides to invest. It is a sentiment, it is an emotion which drives spending and investment in the economy. It is a feel-good emotion, it is an emotion of confidence. That is meant by animal spirits. And when animal spirits prevail, investment looks up, consumers spend, and very often investments take off just on the basis of an informal thought that the economy is doing good. The real issue, the real bane of the Indian economy has actually been the missing investments. Over the last few years, India has witnessed investments have been dipping and they are at the moment again at a historic low. In fact, instead of growing, they have gone down of late. Investments have been in a negative territory and that comes with a lot of toxic effects. It is demand that inspires manufacturers to invest, and when they invest, jobs grow, and when jobs grow, demand goes up, GDP looks up, tax collections go up, and that fuels again yet another cycle of demand, investment, etc. Thus, the real issue in the country has been investments, and that is determined by the animal spirits prevailing in the economy. While Bloomberg has looked at the macro factors at the macro level and said that animal spirits have not returned, we at HW would look at the micro level and would like to say the animal spirits, the reasons why animal spirits are completely missing, particularly from the MSME and the startup sector of India. So what are the reasons which dissuade investors in the country from investing in new projects and new ventures today? Let's look at them broadly. The first one, as we have always said repeatedly in the past, India has too many laws and extremely complex and complicated laws. And to make it worse, they even change very often. You may start a venture on the basis of a certain law situation, and when it changes suddenly, your entire venture may become a risk. It may just become unviable. It is this which is the first dissuading factor according to us. The second is, over the years, the laws have become loaded with heavy penalty and prosecution procedures and provisions. For the simplest of violation, you may face a criminal prosecution from the various departments, particularly under tax laws, business laws, and corporate laws. Which entrepreneur wants to face these kind of draconian laws? It is better that he doesn't start his enterprise. That's been the next discouraging factor according to us. It is because of these kind of provisions, complications, and criminalization of laws that the cost of compliance has shot up. Cost of compliance has also shot up because the number of forms and procedures you are required to comply with throughout the year have also gone up drastically. It takes time, it takes a cost, and it takes distraction on the part of the entrepreneur to ensure that these compliances take place, because if they do not take place, they face penalties and prosecutions, or at least much higher payment of taxes and duties. Thus, excess compliance, heavy-handed compliance regulations are yet another factor why a person would not want to start a venture, and that reflects on the dipping investments in the country. Tax laws remain complicated, they hurt, and they remain unpredictable. The latest one was the angel tax that was levied on startups. Just because they got capital at a premium, they were required to pay heavy tax, treating that capital and premium as an income, which is unthinkable. Of course, it got rectified later on the basis of a hue and cry, but that is enough to dissuade new entrepreneurs from starting any kind of a startup, and it's reflecting on the ground reality. The next reason, which in our opinion makes it unviable for a person to start an enterprise, is that we are witnessing an era now where more and more governance and administration of laws is being done in a digital manner. You end up filling forms on the net, you do it in a virtual basis. Digital, unfortunately, has not simplified. It has not made life easier for the entrepreneur. The forms have become more and more complex, more and more extensive and comprehensive for no reason. You see any form being filed on the net, and you'll realize that there is so much of information being asked and so much of documents sought, which are actually irrelevant to the very purpose that form is required to be filed. And thus, why should an entrepreneur face all these situations and incur time, costs, and money in order to comply with these requirements? The next, of course, is an insensitive bureaucracy. The law of the land may give you reliefs, the law of the land may be in your favor, but if the bureaucrat is not and he decides to be not, the law does little for you. You will be forced to go into higher and higher appellate forums, all at the cost of your business, all at the cost of risking the capital that you invested in. While we have an insensitive bureaucracy, we also have a slow and uncertain judiciary, which only makes matters extremely difficult. As has been very often pointed out by us, the minimum time or the average time that is taken in India for enforcing a simple contract is about 1,450 days. It is just about 60 days in New Zealand. It is the judiciary which is slow, it is expensive, it is uncertain, it is unpredictable. And which MSME entrepreneur wants to put his fate in the hands of the judiciary? That's another reason why entrepreneurs do not want to start their businesses. The animal spirits are missing. A small entrepreneur also very often faces a situation where his dues are not being paid by the government. They are not being paid by the large enterprises. They are actually being held ransom by these delays. Their capital is at risk. Their very survival of the enterprise is at risk, but little gets done. The recent data that came said that almost 5 lakh crores is the dues that the government owes to the MSME sector. They are so helpless. Thus, that becomes yet another reason. Further, bank loans in India are not easy to get. An entrepreneur needs banking support. Without that, he's not able to conduct his business. And lastly, the effect of demonetization and GST continues to linger. Those disrupted the lives of entrepreneurs, closed down many enterprises, made it very difficult for them to conduct. In some cases, entire businesses were wiped out. Those lingering effects still are felt in the MSME sector. Animal spirits do not get revived. This revival of animal spirits, this revival of investments is crucial for growth of the Indian economy and for its revival post the lockdown. We have not come to this situation overnight. We have come to this situation because of years of misgovernance, as we would call it. And the only way to be able to now revive the animal spirits would be to undo this misgovernance. And that needs a huge determination on the part of the Babu and the Neta in power, which we think at the moment is missing. This is Akhilesh Bhargav signing off till we meet again. Namaskar.
हमारे घरों में भी बच्चे होते हैं जो हमसे प्यार दुलार की आस करते हैं।
हमारा भी जीवन साथी है जिसको हमारे ड्यूटी से घर आने का इंतजार होता है।
हमारे घर में भी एक बूढ़ी माँ है जिनके लिए आज भी हम ही आंखों के तारे हैं।
लेकिन हम हमारे घरों में नहीं हैं। आपकी सुरक्षा में कोई कसर न रहे, इसलिए हम अपने प्रियजनों से दूर हैं।
हम में से ही कुछ तो अब इतने दूर जा चुके हैं कि वो वापस अपने घरों को लौट भी नहीं पाएंगे।
हमें गर्व है कि हमारे कंधों पे मुंबई शहर के नागरिकों की सुरक्षा की जिम्मेदारी है। हमारे जज्बे और बलिदान को व्यर्थ न जाने दे। इस संकट के समय में आप घर पे रहे, सुरक्षित रहे।
Now be the first to know about the latest updates on our new news app. Go on your Android or iOS, search for HW News Network. Download our app, choose the language you prefer to get updates in, and be up to date with the latest news.
If you like this video, please share it, and we would love to hear your comments in the comments section down here. Also, please do like our Facebook page and follow us on Twitter to get minute-to-minute news updates. For more such shows and videos, well, subscribe to our YouTube channel.